Most people think catching a liar is about watching for shifty eyes, crossed arms, or fidgeting. But honestly, professional interrogators know that body language is incredibly easy to fake. In fact, seasoned liars know you're looking for those signs, so they'll look you dead in the eye and hold perfectly still. If you want to catch a liar, you don't look at their hands. You change how you ask questions. Today, we are breaking down the exact 3-question sequence used by behavioral psychologists and intelligence officers to make a liar trip over their own untruths completely accidentally, and without them ever realizing they're being tested. Question 1. The unanticipated details filter. When someone prepares a lie, they prepare it in a straight line. They practice what happened first, second, and third. They anticipate standard questions like, "Where were you?" or "Who were you with?" So, your first question needs to ask for a detail they couldn't possibly have prepared for, forcing them to invent a new lie on the spot. Let's say a coworker claims they were stuck in a massive traffic jam on Route 9, which is why they missed a big meeting. Don't ask, "Was the traffic moving at all?" They expect that. Instead, ask, "Oh man, Route 9 is brutal. Which radio station or podcast were you listening to when it was at its worst?" Or, "Did you notice if that construction near exit 4 is finally done?" Notice how casual that sounds. It doesn't sound like an interrogation, but look closely at their reaction. A truthful person will instantly pull up the memory.
"Oh, I was listening to Joe Rogan," or "No, I actually took a different exit."
A liar has to mentally calculate, wait, if I pick a random radio station, will they check? If I say, "I didn't listen to anything," does that sound weird? Look for a distinct 2 to 3 second delay while their brain scrambles to build a background environment they forgot to invent. The spatial mirror. Check. If they manage to get past question 1 with a quick answer, you immediately move to question 2. This is where we exploit the fact that liars think in words, but truthful people think in pictures. Keep it completely casual. Say something like, "Wait, I'm trying to picture it. Where exactly were you standing, parked when that happened?" Or, "If I went there right now, where is the coffee machine relative to the desk you were at?" To make this even more powerful, add a physical gesture that is slightly wrong. For example, point to your left and say, "So you were on the left side of the room?" A truthful person will visually correct you because they see the room in their head. No, the desk was on the right, next to the window. A liar is so focused on managing their verbal script that they will often just blindly agree with your physical suggestion to get through the question quickly, saying, yeah, exactly on the left, completely unaware that they just agreed to a physical impossibility. Hypothetical punishment trap.
This is the ultimate closer. It's a technique heavily utilized in professional background checks and polygraph pre-interviews. Once the story is laid out, you pivot the conversation to a hypothetical third party who did something wrong, and you ask the suspect what should happen to that person. Let's say you suspect someone in your office stole credit for your project, or an item went missing from the break room. You don't ask, "Did you take it?" Instead, you say, "Hey, management is looking into who took that item from the break room. What do you think should happen to whoever did it when they catch them?" The truthful person will usually offer a strict, fair, or even harsh punishment. They feel slighted by the rule breaker. They'll say, "They should be fired," or "That's incredibly sketchy, they need to pay for it." Will almost always offer a lenient, minimizing punishment or try to deflect. Why? Because psychologically they are projecting their own defense. They will say things like, "Well, maybe it was an accident," or "I don't think they should get in too much trouble, maybe they just had a bad day." When someone actively tries to soften the consequences for a hypothetical crime, it is a massive psychological red flag that they are protecting themselves. The beauty of these 3 questions is that they require zero aggression. You don't have to point fingers, raise your voice, or play a TV detective. You just ask for an unexpected detail. Ask them to map out the space and ask how a rule breaker should be treated. But remember, human psychology is complex. A single red flag might just mean someone is having a stressful day. But when you see all three flags fly on back-to-back questions, trust your gut.